The tree-shaded avenue that is home to the Taipa House Museums used to grace the seaside and currently faces out onto a unique wetland that gives way to the famous Cotai Strip. These houses, built in 1921, now are home to cultural and creative exhibitions explaining key parts of Macau's past. Acclaimed as one of the top 8 sites to visit in Macau, they used to house local families who fondly remember them from their youth.
This place means a lot to me. It's childhood memories. There was a time that Macau was totally different from what we have today. All these premises were occupied by public servants. Yeah, and my uncle was a secretary to administrative post, and he used to live in the first compound of this the whole thing. We will come here and we go to uncle's, and we will go to the beach. So you could swim here.
While the two islands are now linked by the Cotai Strip, built out of the marshland and sea, before the route was plied by ferries, a 20-minute voyage, which later gave way to a small strip of land connecting the two.
There wasn't this Cotai concept. No one would ever dare to imagine such a thing. Well, you had to have a link between the two islands, Taipa and Koluan. It was very calm here. You could see the Chinese junks coming. It's a beautiful place, very peaceful.
The houses themselves are a popular tourist attraction now, reminding visitors of the long-stretching links between Macau and Portugal, reminiscent in the architecture of the buildings.
You have this kind of architecture. Is this Portuguese architecture? No, it's not solely Portuguese architecture, but it reminds you of something, okay? Reminds you of a Mediterranean atmosphere. And people will start to associate why Mediterranean atmosphere here? Oh, because the Portuguese were here.
Given that the house museums were located in a sleepy part of Taipa village before Macau's tourism boom, those who did visit did so mostly to appreciate its serenity. Up the hill from the 5 houses, Our Lady of Carmel Church, that was built in 1885 and marked the arrival of the Portuguese in Taipa, has grown in popularity in recent years as a location for weddings. Directly across from the church is the wedding registry, the latest iteration in a series of uses for the building.
This square was very nice. We still had some wedding ceremonies here. But in those days, no one would marry in this church because this church is too small. So they'd rather go to Macau and have, a church. This is only a chapel. It's not a church. But recently, many people would come here and celebrate their Catholic ceremonies here. Maybe because due to this ambience, it's very romantic ambience. It's very mild, greenish, and very peaceful. They would come here rather than go to Macau with all those cars and whatever.
And while the historical and architectural value of the monuments themselves are most often the focus of those who visit them, those who grew up around them have their own fond memories to reflect on.
We kids would go and we would gather and tell each other scary stories, ghost stories, and you had perfect, great ambience here. Yeah, I miss a lot.